them right there. I thought that was going to spell disaster for Tavern, but it does not. And now we're down to our top three. Hellboy, Sealmat, and Tavern fighting for the top spot.
And someone like Sealmat's been in these positions, right? He's made it into your top three several times. He knows how to battle this out immediately. Look at that. Shuts down Hellboy in the 1v1. Now, Tavern standing between him and the 3 extra points from the victory royale. Tavern in the right side, your top right. Sealmat in the bottom right there. Now, if Tavern picks this up, this is a 20-point game for him. If Matt picks it up, it's a 16-point game. And it's Sealmat who's going to take the game away. Again, Sealmat's been in these positions before. He knows exactly how to capitalize and how to shut other players down.
And with how quick that player left, I assume they're trying to rush back into
hop back into
queue before that. Because remember, we are looking back about 10-15 minutes ago to where these last games were starting. Probably trying to frantically hop on in. 37 players left in this one. Again, we will have your final placings and the standings here. Absent who qualified across the world for the solos competition. Now that we'll know every single one of the 100 players. It's incredible to think about, Zeke. We've made it here. Lupa put it best. The last 2.5 months have led to this point.
That's right, man. 2 spots in NA West, and man, just to think about it, you know, so many players have worked so hard. They've continued to grow over the course of the current 9 weeks. When we do hit that final week of duos, it will be 10 weeks. Just to see everyone grow, improve, level up, it's been a journey, you know. And I think at the end of the day, that's something to look back on and say, you know what?
It is soggy. People have very soggy gameplay out there.
I've heard about that. Yeah. I've heard many people say that. No Dr. Luke, but I've heard people say that. You're just old right now. That's all it is. 35 players in the current lobby. 10 more need to fall before top 25. Flock's inventory.
Uh-oh, it seems like this player in the wood box here has been the one deemed from everyone. You must drop now, as all turn their attention towards Frost. As unfortunately, there's no way you're stopping that much spam, my friend. 32 left right now. 2 shadow bombs available. As now, players continuing to prepare for these storms to begin to move.
Here we go. Hopping down below, you see WBG Viz here. I'm curious to see what the loadout. You can see he's got the heavy sniper. Look at this. Golds for days.
He's played solid gold mode. I think that's what's happening right here.
He's got himself the bandages if things get a little bit dicey, and of course the minis are going to help as well. Nothing in the ways of mobility, at least it doesn't appear that way, unless he does have launch pads and that visual bug is just hiding them from us. Makes things more intense. 31 players left. Hops in! S2's Mo just gets demolished.
Clean shot with the combat shotty right there. One clean motion. You love seeing stuff like that. Legendary combat shotgun just showing how good it is. Whether it's up close and personal or from medium to longer ranges, still gets the job done. Rifts going off, launch pads being placed, shadow bombs being popped. It's an all-out sprint to the next zone as people fight for the best position.
The question would be, where do we go from here? Do we keep going south into Neil Tilted? Now, I believe Pasty there is going to be picked up due to storm damage. Zenst here must have gotten a little bit of damage over on that player. Don't forget that new timer is up to 60 seconds. If someone is eliminated, you get that elimination credit. It's very, very helpful there. It's securing things. 28 players. Sense is sensing himself in top 25. Boom, immediately there.
That was a stretch. We can agree.
All right.
Sense is sensing himself for the top 25.
I didn't expect to just pop there. It was like 3 people were just instantly eliminated, so I just kind of jumped the gun. I should have made the joke a little earlier there. Macy here going to be picked up. Rusian going to be picked up. And look at this. Sense up on the high ground. Well, you know, this is his high ground now.
Yeah, I guess that's how that works. Playing from height, drum gun, 600 shots.
Wow.
On the high ground.
You know, the shotgun ammo, it's a little sparse right now. 25, it's enough to get the job done, but he can't spend too many, you know, if players are rifting up the sky, he can't send extra out.
On height at this point is actually where you'd go through the majority of your shotgun ammo, so I completely agree. You might be thinking, well, there's only like 15 people left. How much ammo could you really need? Well, when you have height in the late game, when everyone's flying around and you're putting shots down range,
you're using at least 3.
The custom is using shotgun ammo. But as I say that, he puts the drum gun to use, so Zen's keeping watch of that ammo himself, making the best plays possible with the different weapons in his arsenal.
He does have the 600 rounds. You mentioned it earlier, a 50 drum mag over on the drum gun. He's going to start putting it to work here, just trying to harass Flick, making him, trying to dictate what Flick is doing, how he's moving, and when. Observers, you guys are just showing off here in the final few moments of this game. 10 players left. Viz finds Flick, though, with a Flick shot. I don't know what's going on with me right now. 7 eliminations over on Viz.
I respect it.
I just feel like
my box.
Double 80s. Navi BB. I'm sorry. It's going to be back to lobby for you, BB.
Maxed out brick from that, too. So back up to over 50 builds. One player just in front. Again, you can tell Viz has the same mindset as what we saw earlier from Arkham. I have to challenge every player if I want to qualify. At this point, I need the best. I need every elim here, plus a victory royale if I want to have any chance.
And these players are actively looking at the leaderboard. They're actively pulling up and saying, where am I? Who is ahead of me? How many points do I need to close that distance? Or how many do I need to jump up? Am I in contention? Are we at tiebreakers? What is the difference right now? He's going to drop down immediately, finds an elimination. Lopez 8, or Lopeza, YouTube.
Up the mountain.
All right, Zen still up on the high ground. Viz there closing the gap. Crayon there as well. Proverbs, he's got himself the ball, gets cracked, and look at this HP. He isn't critical. He's going to fall there. 3 players left, Courage.
Yeah, Viz at the bottom right of your screen. Zen still playing from the high ground. Crayon with shots coming in. All challenges come on to Viz, and Zen just says, hey, you guys fight. I'll come clean up whoever's left, and that's exactly what happens. Ending the game with a max 200 HP. Brilliantly done right there from Zenz. Keeping the height and dropping in when the time comes. Doesn't get much better than that as we prepare for our next game. Zeke, I think we're coming down towards the end here. Are you going to shed a tear?
Probably, man. Probably. It's so strange to think about. I remember at the beginning of all this, I was like, man, 10 weeks, that's a long time. I did it before in Summer Skirmish, and it was long, and I blinked, and then suddenly here we are, week 9. It's almost all said and done. Of course, we still have the finals that I'm, of course, looking forward to.
The finals.
Man.
It is going to be absolutely insane.
I don't think the Fortnite fam is ready for how crazy the finals are going to be.
Yeah. It should be nuts. I know, I'm sure Epic's going to pull out all the stops for it. Make sure it's quite the spectacle because, man, $30 million in prize money or whatever it is, plus the beautiful venue we're going to be in, New York City, the height of the summer. I mean, are you kidding me?
I look forward to it. Think about it often. And, of course, it's going to be super fun casting those games. But for now, we got to live in the moment, Courage. We got to see what's going on with these players. Blixifier, he's on the 3 limbs. There's still 40 other players he could potentially devour for more points. One here. Nishi is just going to get picked off immediately. Look at this. Baller just going to go over, pick up all the loot. I was going to say, if I'm someone else watching this, you got to crack the Baller immediately. Don't let him get away with this for free. At least break the Baller, force him to use those materials he just picked up, and that is exactly what happens.
The Baller health updates have been great. It made them much more reasonable and competitive, and you see right there, a moment one player can peek on out and just immediately cut down that Baller, and now one less is available. Looking at the full lobby, Nolan, 42 points. And knowing where some of the other players are stacking up point-wise, Nolan's probably a little bit far off from qualifying. Would need maybe the best game ever from here on out.
I mean, he would need to start a spree immediately. Looking at the loadout, it's a little sparse. I mean, dualies are great, but you just got to make sure you're up close, you're landing those headshots, and you can just shred someone's HP.
Yep.
Someone goes for the challenge of 127 with the tack. The dualies are coming out. He wants to challenge, going to go try and punch through this metal. He needs to try and do it fast. Do not let the HP bar tick up. He gets the wall replaced. The player defensively comes out with the wall ramp. Look at this. They're hugging, and another ramp comes out. The trap against the wall. Okay.
Dodges.
It's okay.
Dodges.
Fine.
Dodges. These are the best players in the world. Zeke, they know how to dodge those traps. 29 players left.
You ever feel like it's like, when you go to like a movie and you put on the 3D glasses and it's like it's in your face? That's what happens every time a trap comes out. I think it's like
right there.
It's going to be me that's eliminated.
Yeah.
I get like flashbacks of all the times I've been eliminated via traps. All too many.
Dude, they are the most, like, the toughest way to drop. It used to be like much more humiliating when it happened because the trap used to have to be placed on a fully set wall. And it would take the time to obviously go with that. But now, with how fast the traps can go down for 150 damage. They're one of the best defensive tools when someone's aggressively pushing into your box, and that's a beautiful rocket right there.
Wow. The massive, that was huge. Blixifire shut down, and if that was his last game, that's it. He cannot rack up any more points.
Nope.
Great angle there. Caminus there on just below the tarp. Zed there. Oh my gosh, look at the HP, just gone. That's it. Vinny Recon there. So many names. Maximos in this. Harrians is in this. People contesting for those two spots available. And look at this. We hop in, of course, with Harrians. 3 elims.
71 points.
This could go any way, man. If Harrians could just drop a massive game here, find elims, at least 5 more, let's say, at minimum.
I mean, have we seen anyone near 80 points? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
So obviously we don't know the official standings yet. We'll give them to you in just a few minutes. But right now, looking at all things considered, Harrians has been in the top 10 throughout the day. Right now, still at 73 points as he gets 2 more for placing top 15. Tries to drop the player in from up top. 9 builds left. Harrians wants to pop this other mini. And from here on out, I think it's going to all come down to just good use of the weapons that he has. Tac shotgun comes in. Only gets a brief little tag. Nothing too much on that player down below. You shadow bomb away. Harrians cannot finish up that elimination. He's made it to the top 11. Now challenges all the way to the low ground. A rocket does connect, but he gets some health on the elim. Knight, though, takes Harrians down from the back. And here are your final 9 players in this game. Barrel all the way on the high ground.
So we got to remember, 75 points is where Harrians is at right now. As we look at other players, just peek down. So Nolan is right now 49. He's very well and far away from Harrians. So right now, I think, I don't remember the standings. I've been so focused on these games. Nolan here, he needs to make the play of his life. Knight goes down. Nolan is 1 elimination away. There he goes. Herbley goes down to Tokata. Shuts him down. He's got the placement points. He needs to make the play of his life right now, Courage.
Starts with that. First shots come in. Rocket now out. Second elimination comes through.
He got both.
Siege J goes down. Nolan, 53 points again. Still don't think it's going to be enough, but at this point, it's valiant efforts. Playing for pride. Rocket comes through. Does it knock a player down? Only 1 build left. He hears the mini being popped. He knows the person's got to be weak. Oh, they're just below. Great challenge from...
Oh, my God. The flick shot over on Barrel.
Cracks him right there. The tree up above. Is this about to drop this player down?
I believe so.
Does it drop the player down?
Yeah, it should, unless he's got built. Here he
comes!
comes! Oh, my God!
Wow. A clean shot from Nolan on the Takata, the victory royale. Unfortunately for him, 58 points, probably not enough. Either way, great final performance.
Absolutely mind-blowing games out of NA West. But for now, guys, we're going to send it back into the studio. Let's go meet up with Dr. Lupo and see what's up.
NA West, absolutely ridiculous. Nolan literally owning the entire end game there, putting on an excellent show. The choice to rocket at just the right time, drop players in from above. Wild combat shotgun shots. You love to see it. And that actually is the final game for NA West that we're going to show you, which means it's time to take a look at the standings in 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. We're going to throw to a break. Sorry to debate you a little bit, but I had to do it. We'll be here when you come back. See you in 10.
What's up, Fortnite fam? Sundown here, and today we're going to cover some of the basic terminology you should know when watching competitive Fortnite. If you're familiar with high-level gameplay, these should be commonplace and a nice little refresher. If you're a little newer, buckle in, because you're about to learn up. Rotations. Generally, it is very high density of competitors, and you will find a lot of interactions, engagements, disengagements, and eliminations occurring at this point, particularly for those low ground warriors we just talked about. 1x1s. 1x1s are the most basic proponent of building in competitive Fortnite. This is when a player boxes themselves in using their own builds, making them safe from outside fire. This technique can be expanded on to allow for players to take control of a space around them, but it all starts players create a tunnel out of their own builds in order to rotate safely. This is typically done by putting out floors and ceilings in either a straight or diagonal path, then covering your sides with walls as you advance. This allows players without utility to rotate for maximum safety. 90s. 90s are when players utilize vertical 90-degree rotational building in order to build upwards as fast as possible, while also remaining covered. This enables players to try and gain high ground advantage or outplay their opponents to get a quick, different angle. You'll frequently see them used in mid-game build fights or in end-game scenarios where players have to build up very quickly. This has been a quick rundown of the common competitive terms that are frequently used on broadcast. If there are any other terms you are unfamiliar with, let us know using the hashtag #FortniteWorldCup and asking for an explanation. We hope this helps you level up, and we'll see you all on the battle bus.
This is it. This is the last chance, alright? People need to know about this block party, alright? This is your last opportunity to get involved, to get hyped. Zeke, everyone's gonna be there, alright? DJ Zeke's gonna be there, DJ Sundown's gonna be there, everyone's gonna be there, alright? People are ready. You know what, man? DJ Zeke, I don't need no car. All you need to do is buy your tickets to the block party. Tickets are only $35, Fortnite fam. Listen. across the globe, we know what you're waiting for, and that is the NA West results. Who will be the 2 players that have punched their tickets and will be joining us in the World Cup Finals in New York City? You guys ready to find out?
Yes, sir.
Want to see this?
Here we go. Arkham 1X. Now, Pika, of course, is already qualified, so that means Harryans will be coming through. Congratulations to both players. Are you guys surprised? I mean, I feel like we've been seeing Harryans literally all day.
Not surprised at all. I mean, Arkham and Harryans have been fantastic. Harryans semi-final as well. The one thing to note here on the NA West leaderboards, there was a match that launched after the time window. It will end up being invalidated. It did not impact the qualification spots, but the order might change. So if you check the leaderboard out maybe tomorrow and something's a little different, that's why. So just wanted to give you a little heads up in there. But again, congratulations to all of these guys. Such incredible players snagging the final 2 spots. That's it. The solos competition is now set. The pool is there, and I mean, it's gonna be absurd.
Man, cannot wait for World Cup Finals. Now, of course, guys, just to give you a refresher as to how the entire day went, let's take a look back. We'll start with Oceania, remind you guys who was qualified. That is Rona Season or Sazman. You know, it's fantastic to see this player come through. So much work, so much has gone into his trip. And now, Courage, he's made it through. He's got himself a ticket.
What a relief it must be. Obviously, it's a whole different story when you're in one of those regions where there's one spot. It's something to think about where it's like winning a lottery. You have to have everything go right, then to not only fight for it, but it's across a window. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon that you need to play through the entire day and do well. Sazman, congratulations. It was great talking with him earlier. You could just tell how excited he is.
You got anything? Oh, I thought you were going to say something. All right, moving on along. Asia. Let's take a look and refresh your memory as to who will coming through. That is Moffin XD. Again, similar story in Oceania. Actually, 1 point making the difference there. So Sexy Boy being edged out at the very end by a single point or an elimination. You hate to see it, Sundown, but still awesome.
It was so rough for Sexy Boy, too, because he got off to a really good start. And then there was, I think, his middle 5 games. He ended up only getting 3 eliminations and then was like 50-something, 40-something. So he's playing them out. Popped off in his last 3, but it wasn't enough. Best of luck to him in Week 10 in the duos competition because he's played so absurdly well. But even bigger congratulations to Riddles Moffin taking that single qualification spot, the last one coming out of Asia for solos.
Now moving on along, we've got Europe, so let's take a look at this and give you guys a fresh reminder. This is, I believe, the first time, Lupo, we've seen the top 8 just being a top 8. Not like several people that have qualified and shifting everything down.
A brand new array of players making their way in. But that being said, they're not names necessarily that we haven't seen before. We have multiple players from Lestream qualifying. Finally, one of Courage JD's go-tos every single time. Mongrel right there, smack dab in the middle at 5th. It doesn't surprise me to see who we see on the board. And it doesn't surprise me that we're having big swings in terms of players that are